So I'm muting for you because there's a lot of echo is there.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Unmute yourself when you want, when you have any specific questions. Okay, so welcome and so okay, I'm just going to help you to understand the cloud computing on foundations at the same time, how you're going to take this AWS, take it forward. So start with that. So initially, a lot of people have questions and saying that, okay, how cloud computing and what is cloud computing and what is it for it? You can see that a lot of companies been asking for that. Okay, what is in it for them? What I mean is, let's say that if it's Cisco, if it is Oracle, or if it is IBM, or if it is AWS, so everyone is saying that they are in cloud computing. And if you look at in terms of services like even Flipkart or Amazon, right? Everybody says that cloud computing. A lot of confusion comes up saying that how these companies could be related to the cloud computing. That is one segment. The segment comes up with, okay, how I qualify or how I need to quantify it, saying that, okay, this belongs to cloud or not. So debate is happening in the market in terms of where we fit in the cloud. So with that point, we are going to have a foundations talking about, and later on, I'm going to help you to understand how AWS fits in this context. We'll start with the cloud definition, right? A lot of people have their own definition in terms of cloud, how they can define it. Because if we talk with any of the companies, a company says that, okay, for example of Amazon, right? Amazon says that if they want to provide web services over an internet and with a scalable and more reliable services, then that's what they call cloud computing. And if you look at Cisco definition is different. If you look at Microsoft definition is different. The thing is, in cloud, everybody fits, and everybody is trying to do service in terms of like storage as a service or network as a service or computer as a service. If not, in going forward even more, people are coming with innovative ideas. They want to provide as a maid as a service, or they want to provide ticket as a service. They want to provide as a service. For an example, right? If you give an example of IRCTC, before online booking was there, earlier we had booking, right? We need to go to the reservation counter and we need to fill up the application form and we need to do a lot of XYZ things to book a ticket. But now today, if you look at with an IRCTC, it's a matter of a few clicks. You can book a real ticket, railway reservations, right? So that's what it can do, and that's where actually people are looking forward, how we can build a self-service capabilities. At the same time, in IRCT, they were saying they are providing online ticket as a service. RUDS, if you look same, and pay you money. So all examples which comes up, it may look different, but end of the day, what they are doing is a really cloud. Because I want to build a self-service capabilities for everybody who can access from anywhere on demand. That's exactly the cloud computing strategy would be. And with the definition standpoint, for my understanding, with my experience, I can see that there is no limitation from, okay, it's only a storage or it's only a network or it's only a computer. No, it's beyond. So what that beyond what I have seen is, if somebody is providing software or a hardware is over internet, it's called cloud computing. Why I'm saying a software or hardware? If you remember right, and a decade ago, we get projector as a service. That means you need to get a rent. So it can be a rent on CD, or ROM can be a rent, an MP3 player can rent, MP4 player can rent. So renting concept is not new. It's been there from very, very, very long time. Exactly, the cloud computing is coming to the picture, because in cloud computing also we are going to take everything as a rent. It could be computer, it could be a storage, or it could be a network, or it could be an instance, or whatever it is. So I'm saying that it could be a software or it could be a hardware. Anything if they're providing a service from an internet is called cloud computing. And, if I look at in the string, right, because for everything there should be some standard. If not, it will be little scattered from different segments. IEEE came and everybody used to build a computer, right? As an example of it. What they used to do is they used to build on their own standards. There are no common standards to follow. There is an IBM servers own fit for HP, or HP servers own fit for Lenovo, Lenovo own fit for someone else. And IEEE came into the picture and say that okay, from now on you need to build any component that has to be for a certain standard. That's the reason computers become so cheaper. Reason now, if you look at any laptop which you are using, if anybody is using it, the component is not definitely owned by the single company. It's actually by multiple companies. So this is the policy, that's what the power of the standardization. That's exactly even NIST has been saying that, but it's not. There's no saying that this is the standard you need to follow, but NIST has defined some of the certain models be consumable. In that, the first and foremost is a deployment model, right? Deployment model, we say that okay, we have. Let's give an example. You have like that 400 square yards plot. Now the plot you can construct independent house, or you can construct a duplex house, or you can construct triplex, or you can construct apartment. So how to choose based on your requirement, based on money you need to consume, and based on privacy, and there is other aspect you consider for constructing a house. You see, in a cloud, if you want to adopt it, first and foremost you need to look at what all I need to adopt it. If considerable for a cost standpoint, or if you more considerable for an economical standpoint, then people choose a public cloud. What I mean is, for example, if you want to travel from one place to other place, or you want to travel from one state to other state, if somebody is looking for very economical travel, then what they do is they'll choose either train, because that is a public transport. Because it's when you compare it with your own vehicle, it's going to be cost less for you. The public cloud is coming to the picture. The same in an IT segment, in a cloud computing, if you want very economical and you can compromise on some of the sharing mechanisms, then definitely public cloud is the best one. But if you want more privacy, right? Privacy is one of the things a lot of people prefer. Let's say that I want my own car, I don't want to go with public transport, I want to go on my two-wheeler, I want to go on my own. When you say that your own, it's mine, then that's where private comes into the picture. Because most of the enterprises, like big companies, right, IBM, Cisco, Juniper, whatever big companies you name it, they go for private cloud because they have enough money to afford. They won't look for sharing because they want more privacy, because what they feel their business.
I just had a question.
Sure.
If you can put some examples on public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, and a community cloud, so that a bit of understanding I can get on those areas.
Sure. If you look at the public cloud, I'm going to give an example, right? I'll give you two examples. One is non-IT and one is IT segment. In the non-IT segment, you have an apartment culture, right? In apartment culture, you're going to stay in one flat. From the area standpoint, it will be owned by multiple flat owners, but you're going to stay in only in one flat. So that's how exactly the public means, because you are going to share the your space with your neighbors. Apartment culture, you will have a less privacy. Or you need to depend on somebody, either it could be watchman or it could be neighbor. You need to compromise on things. That's like a layman example. But if you look at an IT, let's say that Amazon, because if you look at the Gmail, if you look at Amazon, if you look at Azure, it's not like that only for you and me. It's for anybody can register. Everybody can get resource out of it. That's what public cloud means. In private cloud, that means it's your independent house. You are getting more privacy. You want, you can do it, and it's up to you how you want to construct it. In cloud, the example could be as an OpenStack. Using OpenStack, you can build your private cloud, or VMware technology, you can build your private cloud. Come with a hybrid. Of course, with the hybrid name itself, most resemblance that it's combination of your private and public. Example is private and public is nothing but your group house. in a way, right? Because group house is not an independent house, at the same time it's not a flat. It's a culture. They are limited houses and it will be built by your own taste and how you want flexible, you can do it. But IP, what is exactly hybrid cloud is, let's say you have three-tier application, right? You have three-tier application. In three-tier application, most of the data could be possibly stays in your middleware and database, and whereas you just for maybe authentication or just is plain vanilla. Now to save cost, my web server in public cloud, save money, save more privacy. It's your database server middleware in the private cloud. That's how we can establish hybrid cloud solution. Or else you say that, okay, all my database server, all my application server, all my web server is in my private cloud. Let me take my S3 storage and let me take the service from the public cloud. That's also in hybrid cloud. So it's all, again, based on the solution what we are looking at. Sometimes it could be like a compute will be in remotely, storage will be remotely, or database will be remotely. But all about hybrid comes up with its combination of private and hybrid based on solution you're building using public and private, then it's called hybrid. Let's come to the community. Community is more standpoint of if you're building cloud, if more than two or one or more than two or more companies together. Let's give an example. Here there is a company called VCE, environment earlier, but it's actually it's been led by VMware and EMC. That's VCE. They have a product called vBlock, right? So what I've done is these three companies came together and they built a product called vBlock. If you look at an example of blog, right? Google Blogs. Blog the platform, it is running on Google, which I can. That means in a common language, what I could say is, if two or more companies coming forward to build a cloud and it is consumed by somebody, then it's called a community cloud.
All right. But in the case of a public cloud, as you mentioned, Azure is a cloud platform. AWS is also a cloud platform.
Public cloud platform, yeah.
Yeah. So these are public cloud platform. In a private cloud platform, how do they go about creating a private cloud? Like, organizations, when you say about organizations, you mean about the VMware, you mentioned
VMware,
VMware.
OpenStack, yes, VMware and OpenStack, yeah.
So are the virtual machines the ones that go about creating private clouds?
Actually, our cloud is not only about the virtual machine. Cloud beyond building the self-service capabilities. That means say that if using only virtual machines, it really cloud is not required. You can do that only by doing a virtualization. But want a cloud, let's say that as a customer need a virtual machine. Earlier what used to happen is, if client requests, VMware admin or some admin will create the virtual machine. But what happens is, client says that I need a self-service capabilities. Wherever I want, whenever I want, I should be in a position to request myself. Should not be dependent on somebody else. The self-service capabilities will be built by the cloud. It's not only about a virtual machine, it's beyond.
Okay. All right. So EC2 instances, where does EC2 instances fall in?
Instance is an AWS, right? Because that language, EC2 itself an AWS language, that comes under the public cloud.
All right.
EC2, if you want me to compare, EC2 will be in Amazon and VM is in VMware and instance will be in OpenStack. So there are different names or there are synonyms based on what cloud we are going to opt for. But rather than I'm seeing an EC2 instance, what I will look at is, if it's want to be in a cloud, or if we say that EC2 is in a cloud, the best possible thing has to be done is, addition to request whenever I need it, and I'm in a position to manage whenever I need it, and whenever I want to do something on instance, it should be allowed to me to do it. That's all about the self-service capabilities.
If I'm understanding it rightly, public cloud, if I can give an example, Office 365,
Mm-hmm.
it's public cloud.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
How about a private cloud? You mentioned about VMware, but I don't know much about VMware, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I just know about virtualization, virtual instances can be created on VMware.
Mm-hmm.
But how does a private cloud get created?
See, a private cloud, I mean, what you said is VMware, the virtualization, right? The private cloud is all about how I can build a server to capabilities within my organization. That what are the capabilities right now which I'm doing it, I should be in a position to do automate.
Mm-hmm.
You said an Office 365 is a public cloud. Absolutely right. Now, Office 365 kind of capabilities, if it's accessible within my organization, then it's become private cloud.
Mm-hmm. All right.
You said an Exchange server is there, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Providing Exchange server with the capabilities, whatever Office 365 is giving it, then definitely it's a private cloud. And that is accessible only to my organization, not even nobody else.
So intranet, the
Not even intranet, because if you look at, right, most of the MNCs are multi-WAN. I'm talking about within the organization. It can be multiple locations. It needs intranet. It can be WAN, it can be MAN, it can be anything. But I have to say that it is within the organization.
Mm-hmm.
It's anybody else.
Okay. External resources need to be given permissions to access the internal.
There is no, in private cloud, there is no component called external, because there is no party will be an external. Everything will be managed and everything will be consumed by themselves. Nobody.
Okay. All right.
Let's you own your company, X company. You're working for a company and you own the company, right? I have one company. If I say that if you have a resources which you can manage yourself and which have a resource which you can do only for you, like access, I should have an access. That is which is you are a private. That's right. You have a car, owned it. Now it's completely owned by you. Nobody else can have any right on it.
In layman's term, I got it, but in terms of an application standpoint, how are these private clouds being developed?
Okay, I'll tell you. You have HDFC Bank, you have ICICI Bank, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now let's say that HDFC Bank website, sj.com, can who be customers, right? Not even customers, everybody can access that homepage, sjdfc.com. If somebody want to log in, only HDFC customers can log in.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, if anybody want to manage it, who can manage?
ICICI Bank.
I'm talking about. That's what the private cloud.
Okay.
Because it can be accessed by others, it can be shared by others, but actually when you want a resources to the extreme, or if you not to the extreme to the resource to the congens, both can be done by only by HDFC in this case.
All right. Okay.
And an application standpoint, if you look at an even example, like for example, HRMS is there, right? Human system.
Mm-hmm.
Now, HRMS is dedicatedly used by your company, let's say that. HRMS will be accessed by anybody else?
No.
So, HRMS is at the end of the day is an application.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So those kind of things will come into the existence. Like when you're talking about a private cloud, more about it's mine, it's I, it's those kind of things will come into the picture. And how IT, right? Now let's say that earlier, by the way, which company you're working for right now? Am I? So now if you look at within Amazon, I'll tell you one very plain vanilla example for you. Now if let's say you want a database server. I'll tell you both situations. One is before private cloud and after private cloud, how transformation happens. Okay. Now, if you request a database server before private cloud is, the request will go to the system administrator, okay, and system administrator will build a VM or physical server, whatever it is, and they hand off to, because it has to install database and connect database, and after this process of 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, based on what are the SLA you have in internal, then it will come to you, user, what I would say. This is for the private cloud. Now, after the private cloud, what happens is, when you're requesting a database server, you request this in a portal, database server, and request till you get a database server, no intervention. And you have a full authority and you have a full power to change what you need and what you are looking for. That the private cloud capabilities is coming into existence. Because without a private cloud, what could be possibly happens in enterprise is they will become a mess. Reason, everything is a dependent service. Every activities you are going to do, it's all dependent before cloud. But after cloud, people are trying to reduce that dependency from the humans. And they do as much as automation they can. So the delivery will be faster. If you look at, right, you may heard about continuous delivery and you may heard about continuous integration. Right, ED and CI. And since CI, how it will be achievable? With ED and CI is not only from the development standpoint, think about it, how it could be from the infrastructure standpoint. Because infra developer cannot work. Without infra being available in whenever they need, they cannot do anything. At the same time, in continuous delivery and continuous deployment cycle, how to achieve 100% success rate? Because definitely there is a possibility to not say, because some manual issue can be raised. But what has been automated, that's why the cloud is coming to existence. Why big companies or small companies are looking this? Because it's not only about cloud is cheaper, is going forward. That means you're going to get a lot of automated self-service capability. And
the hybrid cloud, in the terms of the hybrid cloud, it's in the public and a private cloud. So how does that fall in place? Like,
yeah, let's say that. I'll tell you a very simple example. You are from infra background, you are from development background.
I'm not development background. I'm not from. I'm just from a IT support background. So yeah.
So you are comfortable with Windows or you are comfortable with Linux?
Windows.
Awesome, no problems. Yeah. Now let's give a simple example. In Windows systems, you have Windows Event Viewer, right?
Yeah.
Now, Event Viewer will generate a lot of events. What is the best possible solution you have for system log for now? What you are aware of at this point? Have you configured any time syslog server? For
no.
Now, if you look at in Windows, as you know, right, once you reboot this server, your system events will be wiped. And most of the times, and if you even the configure it, you cannot store for such a long, because that will create a lot of congestion in your system file. So what you will do is, as you may heard about it, we will usually configure syslog server. Okay. Now let's say that you don't have syslog server in your environment. Now I want somebody else, like kind of my company, and we are providing syslog as a server, as a service. Now what I'm saying is, you want to configure my syslog server, which is in public cloud, your server. Server exists in your data center, and send logs to my public cloud. Now, these are using in your private, your server, and public, my syslog server. Of the example for your
Got it. Okay. Got it. Okay. So in the case of, the example that you mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
in the case of if I want to make some data available to uh, or some ability of some available to the other party, that data availability, then
Mm-hmm.
that party can go about, they have the resources, they are outsourced. Like you mentioned, you have the syslog server, and I have the server at my end,
Mm-hmm.
but the logs are being transmitted onto your server, so yeah, they maintained and they retrieve at any point in time.
Yes, as per your request. Yes.
Okay, all right, okay. 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 And as you mentioned about a community cloud, three, many other organizations go about collaborating and then go about forming a cloud-based environment where they provide service to the end users.
Absolutely true.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
First level of qualification, what you do, right? Whether which cloud you are in. Next comes about the service model. Because now, let's say, as I mentioned earlier, right? Now you decided to, once you have a land, once you have an plot, now you decided whether you want to construct independent house, flat, apartment, whatever it is. And that what you decide is whether you are going to give for a builder or you are going to give for you are going to build on your own. What kind of service you want to opt for it. Because you have money and if you don't have a time, you go with the builder, right? You say that I will give you money, you need to build for everything for me. That's a little more cost for us. And if you say that, okay, I want to save money and I want to do myself because I have little knowledge on construction or real estate area, what you don't engage a builder, you will directly engage a labor. And you will do on your own. Exactly, service models will come into the picture. The service model says that is, first most is infrastructure as a service. What a service is, let's say that you have a land and you're going now lease, and you constructed a house, now you're living on a rent. That means you are providing an infrastructure. This is like a not furnished house. It is not furnished. What you give, you just giving on a rent, and now who are occupying your tenant, they will furnish it as per the need. That is like infrastructure service. In IT, what is exactly IaaS means? They are going to provide your servers or infrastructure which could be related to compute or storage and network. And once they provide, you need to manage everything.
Okay. So rental computing resources.
Your computing resource, rented computing storage, rented computing network, whatever it is. It just, and you are not going to, they are not going to help you after that anything. You need to manage your own. The service. Second one is platform as a service. Platform means it is a finished house. That's the name language. One house means they got fit AC, they got fit TV, they got fit sofa, they fit bed, they got fit everything. And you need to do is you need to make sure some maid, you need to arrange some maid and you need to clean them and put times. With all the available resources. Platform as a service. What exactly meaning is, what they say is we are going to provide not only servers, on top of servers I'm going to provide you a platform called like Java platform, like Python platform, like PHP platform, right? Like any of this kind of platforms I'm going to provide you. With what happens is, you are going to own and you are going to maintain your application, but all bar of your application I'm going to manage everything. Like this, like security hardening, like maintenance activities. This all comes under the service provider, and the consumer will only manage the application. That is platform as a service. Last list is a software as a service. Software as a service means you get everything. Everything. Like for example, you mentioned correctly mentioned Office 365. Okay. Office 365, once you get it, once you log in it, you can start using it. You will not do anything else on top of that. Right, Gmail account. After that, do you need to do any configuration? No. You have your Gmail up and running. You can use it. You don't need anything else. Package software as a service. And yeah, sorry.
Yeah, in the case of a platform as a service, like I've heard only about Windows Azure and Rackspace. Where does that fall into? I don't know. But I've heard Windows Azure being a platform as a service. Apart from that, is it the underlying OS? Is that the reason why it's called as a platform as a service?
The underlying a platform like a Google App Engine. Google App Engine is one of the biggest platform provider. It's not underlying OS. It's underlying what I would say technology, or underlying, for example, Salesforce. Salesforce is a SaaS. Force.com is a platform. Force is a complete product. Force.com is a platform to develop product. It's a platform. Java is a platform to develop applications. And platform. PHP platform. .NET platform. The things which you need to build an application, that's platform.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
And once you decide the service model, then the important thing comes up is, okay, let's give an example. Just now you mentioned, okay, Azure is platform as service. Or I'm a AS provider and I'm a PaaS provider, I'm a SaaS provider. I'm saying that I'm an AS provider. Let's say that tomorrow some other new guy comes to you and say that my Niranjan, my application is cloud aware. Application is already in cloud. Does he know? And how do you qualify? Okay, this guy is saying cloud, but is it right or wrong? How do you qualify it? The qualification process starts from this stage. There are 5 major characteristics was there in cloud. One is the guy is saying that it's a cloud aware or the cloud aware application, then know how he is on-demand self-service. If that application or the software I can access anytime whenever I need without dependency, called self-service. As I already mentioned, right, in the initial stage, IRCTC. Do you have any limitation to access IRCTC? Not. You can access from mobile, you can access from laptop, you can access from anywhere. The only thing you need to have an internet. Self-service on demand. If somebody says that, okay, if the product is cloud, you need to validate this. And is broad network access. Broad access is like, it's not only about, okay, one to many or many to one. It's not like a multiplex access. Exactly broad network access is, let's say that example, almost 10 years ago, if you want to go for a movie, what used to happen, you need to look at a newspaper and find out which movie is playing in nearest theater. Right? And if you found, okay, what is the nearest theater, then you'll go to theater and you'll buy the ticket and you'll watch the movie. If you observe it, you are more limited knowledge only on nearest places. You can be never exposed to the big areas because you don't have a way to do that. Let's look at it now. You're looking at a book my show. With book my show, what is happening? You get a broader network access. That means you can look at not only your area, you can look at complete Hyderabad, or you can look at even Bangalore. You can look at almost every city in India. You can book tickets. For example, your parents are staying in some other city, and here, from people, we can book tickets for them. That's what exactly the broad network access means. Next, resource pooling. Resource pooling is, in terms of, let's give an example. In your company, you have a HR team, you have a development team, you have a finance team, you have a desktop team, like you have multiple teams. For each team, people cannot buy software. Team-wise, they cannot buy software. They can buy only company-wise, right? So even I'm buying one, but I need to be differentiation. That's how I can manage a software between multiple teams. Same, I want to buy same software, but I want to be access the software with many teams with many people. That's what resource sharing, how I share properly. Next you're getting is the rapid elasticity. The elasticity means, let's say that today your web server having 1,000 are accessing it. Tomorrow they are going to access is to 10,000 people. But when you are having a more request, obviously what you need to do is you need to have a more capital to maintain that. So whenever you want, you should be in a position to expand it, and whenever you don't want, you need to come up with the same state. That's not, like if you take an example of rubber band, right? You switch it. You don't require, you unswitch it. It's the same way in a cloud, where I want many big things, I should be in a position to do it. Where I don't want, I should do.
Yeah, I just read something about alien and scale out.
Auto scale we call it. Whenever we want auto scale, that is a concept in the cloud, in Amazon especially. We have auto scale. Whenever we want, we can expand it. Whenever you don't want, we can cut down it.
Okay.
That's velocity.
Okay.
And the other thing is the measured service. Obviously, in cloud, it is going to be a vital role. Reason for simple example, right? You have a power electricity bill, right? Let's say that you consume 100 units and each unit costs 10 rupees. That means if you look at the bill, what is the expected bill? Could be 1,000 rupees, right? 100 into 10. But one morning you got a 10,000 bill, priced first. You will go definitely to the respective department and you will ask for it. You will log a complaint. How to call a complaint? Because you have a bill and you consume it so much, like 100 units, 150 units, whatever it is. You are able to know, okay, this bill is not right. So actually in a cloud, because in a cloud we are talking about multi-tenant, multiple people are going to access it. So we need to know how much I consumed it. I don't paying more, which I'm not consuming it. So that's a service. And when I add it, if you look at, if somebody is saying they are in cloud, at least they should have this 5 or 6 which are part of. This is how we need to qualify it. If having these characteristics, okay, then this is a good for cloud. Is it already in a cloud?
All right. Just like I got it. Because even Microsoft offers the same kind of measured as a service. In other service vendors, even Amazon provides the same kind of measured service, wherein how data you consume or what data you upload, pay basis of that. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to play a vital role. If that kind of service is not there, nobody will go for cloud, frankly speaking. Transparency in that. Then how they are charging, and the service provider don't know how they to charge. Managed service is going to play a vital role.
Oh, all right. Okay. Okay.
Cool. So any questions so far?
No.
Okay.
I need to, I would have questions. The basic model, because I want to understand the basic model, private, public, to be ultimately clear about, everything about that. So research on it and possibly, get questions about it, relevant questions so that,
Definitely, no problem. Anytime, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
This is a scorecard. The scorecard is more about right, because mostly people should talk about pros, cons, and all, because people say, why I need to learn cloud computing, why I need a cloud computing. Not only questions for you and also even for CEOs, CTOs also will ask same question. Whenever new technology comes up, of course people say that we need to upgrade it, but why we need to upgrade it is not what happens. So for the benefit standpoint, first and foremost is a cost saving. How people are saying that cloud is a cost saving? Let me help you to understand that in a very common language, right? It's very simple. Let's say if you don't know how to use IRCTC, if you don't know Book My Show, and if you don't know WhatsApp, what happens? Right? If you don't go to IRCTC, you need to go to a railway station or a reservation counter, right? And it's the time, money, you don't know whether you're going to get ticket or not.
That's right.
And Book Show, same thing. You don't know Book My Show, you need to the theater and you don't know whether you'll get a ticket or not. And to the theater, it's all money. Today equal to money.
That's right.
So with cloud, you're going to save money. If an example in a cloud, it will help you. Let's simple example, WhatsApp. You don't know how to use WhatsApp or you don't know what is WhatsApp. What happens? Whenever you send message, you end up sending SMS. And you want to share something, you end up doing something. So that is also time and money. Cloud, people say that, and that's a completely true statement, and you're going to get a lot of benefits of the cloud, especially in the money front. Of money. One of the biggest thing is because in a cloud, it's all about pay as you go. As you go. Because cloud says that don't pay me upfront, pay for you consume it. Pay only what you consume for, before anything else. This is topmost. Next is business agility. Business agility means, as I mentioned earlier, continuous delivery, continuous integration. There are a lot of things are coming up. Let's give an example. Let's say that we both are in the same team. Our boss came and said that, okay, Shravan and Niranjan, you need to get a product with 10 functionalities. You have a time of for 3 weeks. Okay. And next, same boss comes to us and say that, okay, Shravan and Niranjan, again, we got the more requirements now. You are going to have same time. 1 week become 3 weeks, become 2 weeks. We need to build 20 functionalities, not 10. And 1 week happened, and again, boss came back and said that, okay, Shravan, Niranjan, again, sorry to say you are going to have still same time called a week time because weeks is done. Now you're going to build not 20, you need to build 30. Keep on surprising boss. We always think that why boss is doing like this. It suddenly changes, right? Usually we think because we are humans. But from the other side of the coin, what happens exactly? You look at when Flipkart came, initial stages, right? I'm talking about 4 to 5 years ago. When Flipkart came, what happens is when you order it online, what's your expectation? Your expectation is it may reach in 2 days or 3 days. And about 4 to 5 years ago when Flipkart came initially, right? Or Flipkart, Amazon. Now what's your expectation? Your expectation is or even further in some of the products people are expecting in next 1 hour. Because it's actually not boss is changing, it's about customer is changing. And expectations are changing. You cannot sell same product for lifetime. That's what actually happened with Nokia. Nokia phones are number one, right? Almost 5 to 7 years ago, Nokia was ruling the world. So suddenly Nokia was got down. It's not, look at, Nokia was not accepting the change. Say that my OS is great, which is Symbian OS, my hardware is great, which is Nokia hardware. When Android came into the picture, every other guy has been adopted. Why not Nokia? Because that's what people demand. Smartphone requirements got changed. So every day new smartphone is coming up. Every day new functionality is coming up. That's what exactly the business agility means. Market changes, you need to adopt the market changes as much as fast you can. If not, the market. It's possible with cloud. Let's say that I'll give you a simple example. Your laptop has 4 GB memory, right? And now for installing some more application, it is asking more memory. That means it needs more than 4. Then how easy it is. It's very tough for you, right? You need to inquire whether it model supports or not. And supports you need to buy an additional DIMM. And you can plan whether you have 1 DIMM or 2 DIMMs. If you have only 1 DIMM, you have to replace 4 GB with 8 GB. It's not easy. Now, if you look at in a public, in a cloud, not only public, in a cloud, if you look at 4 GB memory, if you want to extend it, it's in a minutes. Because it's your machine. Anytime, as you wish. Exactly, the business agility and business agility comes into the picture. Now, use any device. Any device in the sense of is, people are now expecting, I want from mobile, from laptop, from pop, from iPad, from, right? From now, people are expecting to access from anywhere. Device. Means people are expecting to access from heterogeneous environments.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
If it is not a cloud, earlier if you look at prior to the cloud, what used to happen is people are used to release products for specific environments. So even till today, if you look at a lot of Windows applications won't work in Linux, a lot of Linux won't work in Windows, and a lot of Windows won't work in Macintosh. Those are not heterogeneous.
That's right.
Next comes up with information sharing. Let's look at it in our traditional way. I'm talking about 5 years ago. When you transfer data between the mobiles, for example, you may end up using Bluetooth. That is all information sharing. It's not wrong. Bluetooth is very great. But if you look at after sharing comes, how do you transfer now? Using share it.
Yeah, that's right.
The information sharing remains same, but the demand is changing. So do same. Bluetooth also transfers data, and share it also transfers data. But it should not only data, it will do even an application transfer also, and it is pretty fast. Information sharing comes up is in cloud information sharing definition got changed. It's only about copying a shared folder. No, it's not. It is beyond.
That's right. That's right.
And one important thing of the, if we look at from the, I haven't mentioned cause, or I haven't mentioned issues. I mentioned the concerns. Reason is concerns can be addressed very easily. Concern is because I have used to work with a lot of CTOs. And a lot of challenges from the CTOs were when we asked them, okay, why you are not adopting fully of cloud? Right. The immediate answer could be, is Raman, cloud is awesome. Everybody is there. But the challenge is, I'm not getting the people to manage them. Technology is going fast, but we are not going fast. The operation insertion is having challenges. That means even though tech companies can go to cloud, but there is no team to manage that. That's where exactly what you and me are doing now. Because you are trying to learn Amazon or you are trying to learn cloud. Right? So exactly we are trying to fill that operation insertion gap.
Yeah.
Security and trust. I would say that what security and trust, I'll give you a simple example for you to make understand. You're staying in an apartment, assume. You're staying in a flat, right? Now, every day while you're leaving home, you will lock your door, right? Mainly. Yeah. Fine morning, while you are in a hurry, unfortunately, you forgot to lock your door. And who is responsible? Is it security is responsible or you are responsible?
I'm responsible. Yeah.
Then not blame security during that time. Right. Exactly, that is going to be happen. That is what happening is. Because we are in a frustration, we say that what was is doing it. Right? In a frustration, we'll say that.
That's right.
Exactly, the security or trust means comes up. In a cloud, what happens is, I'll do one more example. You have a laptop, Windows 10 or Windows 8, assume in your laptop as OS, right? Now, internet you have got it. Now, some fine day, your laptop is not working properly. And that there is some virus. Now, when it impacted by virus, your laptop got impacted by virus. Is it your issue or is it a laptop issue or is it the OS issue? Who? In fact, at this point of time, we have to take care of it. We have to install antivirus.
Yeah, that's right.
Their security has to provide us.
Yeah.
So what I used to say in a cloud is security is not a one guy responsibility. Security responsibility between the shared between the people. In an apartment, its security depends upon you, neighbor, and security. Right? Laptop security depends upon you and OS. OS has to provide enough patches and how to install regular frequent updates and frequent antivirus updates. So security is all about shared responsibility. If you share, your environment will be good. If not, of course, it can be impacted. We cannot anybody on that.
Okay.
Next is an acquisition. Acquisition is about, right, when you acquire it. What I would say is adopt it. What exactly it means is, let's say that you're trying to let's say you're planning to buy a car. If you want to buy a car, what is the prerequisite? Is you know how to drive. Right? If you don't know how to drive, what happens? Even though you buy, you have to be consumed. You don't know what is the performance of the car because you are not exactly driving it. Depend on driver, and driver may not give perfect feedback for you. Exactly happening in that session because cloud you may be starting here, but the problem is you are exactly not doing the things, and you are always dependent on somebody else, which will hurt sometime.
So acquisition, I get the exact meaning out of it. You mean I may falter on the metrics that's been provided to me? Is that the thing? Because I don't have knowledge. I lack knowledge on that area, so I may falter on the metrics being provided by someone else. Is something?
Yeah, it's been something, but like it's like you want to establish. Let's say that you want to adopt cloud. You don't know what it is. Then you need to purely depend on somebody else. Somebody else may have a knowledge or not, even don't know. You're in a dilemma. But you don't know cloud, but still you are trying to migrate your service into the cloud. So challenges is going to be bigger. Because one of your friends said that, okay, Honda City is an awesome car. That's a review. But once you bought it, the car is not working well.
That's right.
Possibly happen, right?
Okay. It's not acquisition of some organization or acquiring the other.
It's not the acquisition. It may be a technology acquisition. It may be people acquisition. It's a combination of both. Can be sometimes.
All right. Okay.
And data portability. Data portability is what you used to say is, let's say that your database is a COBOL. Okay. You are trying to migrate to Oracle. Let's say that. Easy to migrate, and people say that okay, Oracle is not supporting. Is it really Oracle is not supporting, or your application or your database is legacy?
That's right.
Portability is meant of now. That's why if you observe from 2013, the trends are lot of software, lot of applications are either app-based or web-based. The web-based and app-based applications can be portable between the devices, between the OS, between the applications. So the challenge was data portability. The reason is those are all legacy and they need a lot of work on to support latest technologies.
Migration is a problem in the case of data being available, migrating to latest ones or latest technologies, or the ones either people become dependent, or of course if they have Oracle, they become dependent on that specific provider?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll give you one very simple example. You may look at a lot of the companies, and some of the companies are using very old application. When you go to that company and say that, okay, so X company, why can't you migrate this application to cloud? This cloud will support this application. But it's not the right statement. I will put it in the right statement now. What I say is not cloud is not supporting. It's actually your application is not supporting cloud.
Okay, that's right.
Because your application has to be changed to get to the cloud. It's not like cloud will change for you. Because cloud will not change for each and everybody. We make that consumable to the self-service capability to build in the cloud. So change for everybody, but we need to mold towards cloud to get benefits for us.
So you to say an on-premise deployment, move on to a cloud environment, making the necessary changes, adaptability and flexibility of the organization, understand migration. What are the cons?
Migration strategy, what I would say that if we have a strong migration strategy, then there will be clear success and enough time on to build strategy. The strategy could be possible involves, as you mentioned, pros, cons, and what could be challenges or what could be issues, what could be how can be addressed, what could be positive timelines, right? It tells about the strategy. So that you say that when you are trying to migrate to the cloud, don't be in a hurry to do that. First, prepare your plan for the strategy, how you would like to be possibly carried forward. That would result you in a success rate.
Okay.
So yeah, no, this is for just for the sake, like as you understand what I would like to type. So this is what just orientation basics, and this is one of the very few slides which have been spoken about. How my sessions will be usually, and I want to be more interactive. Yeah, of course, you are asking a lot of questions. That is very good part of you. I would say that we will be clarity on both the sides. So that is for today, and yeah. If you want anything, if you have any specific questions so far, please let me know.
I wanted to know about if I opt for this course, whether there will be a lab. Because I saw 3 labs being provided by Amazon.
Yeah.
Also, there are credit cards being used for payment. So, how would that work out? Like, what would be the point for we'll be working towards?
Let me tell you very open on that. See, if you look at Amazon won't provide labs. Actually, Amazon provides you free entire account. In that account, you are going to build your labs. Most of the services will be it's covering within the data account, but specific services need additional charges. Charges will be around, I would say that from $5 to $6, not more than that.
Okay.
Talking about complete labs of covering it. So we are going to cover almost from small to big labs. I mean, some extent of the lab, it's almost 35 to 40. Apart from this, and I'm going to cover you almost 3 to 5 solutions, how you can build solutions on top of AWS cloud. So theory part will be there. So it's a combination of theory, combination of labs, practicals, and combination of solution designs.
Okay. All right. And course duration. What will be the course duration?
Course duration would be possibly from 32 to 40.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. What is the amount that?
That would be possibly Sai will help you to understand, and he will going to help you to discuss, take it forward.
Of finding,
Yeah, what's going to happen is I usually have a methodology because I'm doing this methodology from the last 12 years because I'm passionate about trainer. So I'm doing this trainings from last 12 years. How my methodology would be is, first I go through the technical terms and what is the theory, what we would say that. Then every service we are going to do a lab, and of course I will do in front of the lab. At the same time, I'll make sure you are doing the lab. And if you feel like comfortable, okay, this lab is done, then I'm going to go to the next topic. Like this, every service we are going to do labs. And once you are done with all the labs, then we are going to do exercises. That means how to integrate the services, or else how you can build a solution using multiple services at the same time. So with that, you are going to know how you can build a solution on top of AWS.
So, course, when person gets in.
See, for any AWS standpoint, right? AWS standpoint, this is a solution architect. Administration. Once administration is comes, then it goes to the either SysOps or DevOps. But as course completes, you can fit, mostly you fit in solution architect standpoint. That means you know how to use AWS and you know how to build solutions on top of AWS. So that comfortability you will be in. It's not in DevOps because DevOps is not a start point, because DevOps is the next step of taking forward, because it's a combination of cloud and combination of with an language and combination with an automation. So it's a combination of multiple segments you become a DevOps guy. So with this course, you are going to become, your target should be to become a solution architect, a solution architect.
Okay. Now, as a solution architect, the I just forgot it.